I have like a testosterone in the fucking toilet and I could be on TRT if I wanted to do it. I'm on medication for mental health stuff that makes me fucking fat and slow. And it's like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I beat you and you're fucking blasting a bunch of shit because you're a fucking coward. That's why. You know what I mean?
Now imagine if you started blasting a whole bunch of shit as well.
I probably wouldn't do well on it, but it's like, I just think it's getting to a point where it's kind of a joke. And I agree. I think it should take something away from your wins. Like, you know what I mean? I just think it's, you did it with the aid of an illegal substance, right? Like you had to, you know,
previous podcast that me and Aaron did, we were talking about like, you know, PEDs with Kieran, and like, he basically said the same thing. It's like, you know, like he feels better, you know, doing things naturally. And I think like, how are you going to legitimize, and we were talking about like, how do you legitimize jiu-jitsu? How do you legitimize a sport where you have people just doing God knows what and injecting God knows what into their body, you know, AstraZeneca and all this nonsense.
Yeah, the AstraZeneca, they're all just walking around with 4-hour boners. So it's
4-hour boners.
I just think you need to make some, like, even if they sprinkled in some random testing, like, I know it's always going to be an issue, but I think in jiu-jitsu, especially in the ADCC, it's just become a joke. Like, you know, like
it's just utterly ridiculous.
It's so out of control. It's sort of like baseball was. I think you
That's
either
what I was
make
gonna say. It was baseball. They actually pretty much kind of like turned a blind eye to it. I think they kind of knew everybody was kind of taking something. They were just like,
and look, like
baseball got super popular again.
I get it because people are like, look, you know, I train so hard, I can't train as much, I get injured, I'm getting older, blah blah blah. It's like I get the draw to do it. I'm not an idiot. Like I you know, I know there are medical situations where it's not bad, and there's new, you know, this whole TRT thing is big, but I feel like a lot of people, it's just an opportunity to jump on a light cycle. That's what I think a lot of people do. And like, I've trained with people that take it, and a lot of times they're just lazy. You know, they don't train that hard. They eat like shit. Their lifestyle sucks. They don't sleep. It's like, yeah, of course your testosterone is going to be low. You know what I mean? You eat junk food. You don't train that hard.
Wow, and you're throwing a lot of daggers at Aaron.
No, are you on shit, Aaron? Are you on shit?
Not in anything.
No, yeah, but like, it sounded like you're talking to Aaron for a second. It's like, you sleep like shit, you eat like shit, you don't train.
No, but that's the modern. That's the modern person now. Is like, we're overstressed. We don't eat well. People don't sleep. It's like, yeah, there's a reason your testosterone's low is because you're treating your body poorly, you know,
exactly,
or whatever.
Yeah. Like,
so it's
anybody's testosterone is gonna be low. In
no offense, like if any of you guys take shit, like I get it. Like I'm not like I hate everybody that does it. I just like, I understand the draw of it, but I think in a competitive environment, it's, you know, it's a shortcut, you know. So
yeah,
so fuck the both of you that are on shit.
but I'm like 220. I'm like 230 right now. Look at this.
Look at that.
Twisted steel and sex appeal.
You should be coaching Gordon Ryan.
But like you were saying, right? Like if it's for somebody who's, whether they're trying to improve their sex life or if they're not competing, for example, like they're training to train and this helps them feel better.
Yeah, I get it. I get that.
It's like, go for it, do it. It doesn't matter, right? But when obviously, like, especially when money is on the line, or like, you know, like bragging rights, you want to call it, when you're taking an advantage, they're short on that type of cycle wise, yeah, it is a disadvantage to another individual, right? It is a performance enhancing product, right? Not saying it's a drug, because there's many different things you can do, but yeah, you're taking an advantage away from another individual rather than a technique, or you didn't work as hard for whatever reason. And I think that's really prevalent in the Masters division nowadays, where because and that's
absolutely
what I've heard, where it's
Masters Worlds, aka
it's like
TRT Worlds.
It's the TRT Worlds, man. It really
TRT Worlds.
Everyone's got a really deep voice and their traps are bursting out of their rash guards. You're just like, what the fuck is going on here?
50-year-olds that are just like shredded. They have like 30 packs.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way this is natural.
Well, what's funny too is I always hear people say, I mean, I've done a lot of, like, I've talked to like doctors about it and stuff, and do, like, I have friends that take it and read a lot about it. And it's sort of like, people always say, well, I'm just replacing my testosterone, so I would be like what a normal young guy would be. And it's like, it's kind of bullshit, because if you inject, you get like peaks and troughs. So it's like, it doesn't just leave you in the normal range. Like most of the time, you're probably injecting and spending a good amount of time in a slight super physiological dose. And then you kind of come down and then you inject again. It's like a normal guy's testosterone peaks in the morning and drops at night, peaks in the morning and drops at night. So it's like you're spending most of your time in an unnatural state because no normal testosterone has those kind of ebbs and flows like as an injection. So it's like, get the fuck out of here with this. Like, I'm putting my testosterone back. You know, it's like, yeah,
I'm putting it back temporarily, and then I'm gonna
well, you know, it's like it's an average,
myself
right?
out of the tree after.
Yeah, it's like if you measured yourself a few days after you injected, you'd be probably pretty damn high, and then that comes down. You know, so it's like for the week, you're probably spending a good part of your week at a super physiological dose. So anyways,
but yeah, I think
it gets me a little fired up.
There's a health, you know, there definitely is like a health component to this where if somebody's like testosterone's in the shitter, I wouldn't just go, hey, you should get on TRT immediately. Maybe you should make some adjustments to your lifestyle, first of all.
Of course.
Second of all, when it comes to like just getting back to like jiu-jitsu and trying to like legitimize it as like a mainstream sport, it's like how many mainstream sports allow you to just gas yourself up to the tree and just go out there and like rip somebody in half?
Not a lot. Baseball would probably have been a good comparison.
Baseball let it slide, and then it got like ridiculous.
Yeah. And look, I get the pressure. Like it's, you know, and I'm sure a lot of athletes get to a point where they're like, well, what the fuck? Like, imagine you're a natural athlete and you want to go compete at ADCC and like everybody's on shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to probably be able to train as hard. You're not going to recover as well. So like, I get you feel drawn into it because you're just trying to level the playing field, you know? So I get it. I just think, I think there probably won't because they want ADCC to be such a spectacle. And it is. They all look like superheroes, you know, and they're competing a lot in a short period of time, right? Like you know, they have to go a lot. And so it's not that I'm oblivious to like the advantages or the, you know, even like you said, from a health perspective, but it does create a real gray area where you're kind of like, especially in the masters division where guys are taking it for health, but then it becomes an advantage. So it's a messy thing. You know, I just think they should probably implement at least some random testing here and there, you know?
So if The Rock takes it,
oh, The Rock claims he's natural, right? So all these guys claim they're natural, for Christ's sakes. It's like, you know, I actually admire people that are kind of like, yeah, I fucking take shit. It's kind of like, all right, you know.
I think it's another thing as well. I think I think it's more the honesty of it, where like my issue is more like if somebody wants to do something like with their body, as long as they're not harming somebody else, go for it. If bodybuild and take stuff, and you know, go for it. Just, you know, make sure you do your research and you know what you're doing. With that said, it's like the thing I have an issue with is it's like, hey, like here's this like 6-week program and you're gonna look like The Rock that like Aaron's gonna try to sell, and then like you go from like somebody looks like Aaron to like The Rock in like 6 weeks. And it's like, oh yeah, you're just gonna just a really hard diet and you're just gonna hit the gym. It's like, fuck off. You can't look like that in 6 weeks. And then you see
it in
the fitness community trying to sell stuff like that. Like,
well, it skews people's perception, right? Because they think like if they don't look like that in 6 weeks, that it's not the right program, or they see Hollywood actors that get ready for a role. And it's like, yeah, they're probably working hard and taking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though they're already in good shape. But yeah, so now that I've gotten that soapbox rant out of my system, I think it'd be cool to see like some testing, but you know, I doubt the ADCC will, unless something really changes, because I think they're blowing up and they're going to have another great event soon, hopefully. And I think it makes it exciting. People want to see these larger than life people, you know?
Yeah, I think the next